everyone!
Hello!
And welcome to Kirsty and Bryony's Comfort Zone.
I am Kirsty.
And I am Bryony. And we are here to talk about dreams and figure out what is going on inside our heads. My head hasn't had much in. Do you know what it is? It is the weather.
The weather.
I do not dream when it's warm, and hemp if it's been warm.
It has been warm. It has been.
It's I think it's like that. I was trying to think why it is. I think it's just because I'm like such a level of there's a fight going on outside. There's such a level of like stuffiness that I never go into a proper deep sleep. I'm constantly like wriggling around a lot and trying to get comfortable. And I think it's just that I never fully relax into sleep.
I'm going to put the blame on tabs for my lack of dreams. I have a little bit. I have a tiny bit of dream today, but tabs has been so needy lately, and he often wakes me up when I stir in the morning. He'll be like, okay, you're awake now, get up, meow meow. But he's got to the point where he's doing it earlier and earlier, and I'm like, sir, I need this time to dream for the podcast. How could you just leave me alone for a moment?
Mother's working now.
Exactly. So I think I'm going to have to start setting up a feeder or something for him in the morning, just so that he gets his food before I wake up. Because when that happens, he comes back to bed and he lays down like, now I'm happy. And he just wants his food as soon as possible, and then he's chill. But yeah, he's been waking me up and stopping me from dreaming. The little bugger.
Do you know, I get the feeling that I have been having, I mean, I know you dream anyway, regardless of whether you remember them, but I get the feeling I have been having dreams, but I've just not being, like, I have that feeling when I wake up of like, oh, what was that about? And then the more I try and chase it around my brain, it just disappears.
Yeah.
I was saying to Alex yesterday, I was like, maybe I should give him a little recorder, and in the morning, just have him, because he always wakes up before me, just have him ask what my dream was and hope that, because there are times that I can tell him what it is, and then I'll go back to sleep and then I'll forget what it was. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, if I had that evidence, maybe I could use that instead. But I do remember a dream I had. I had two dreams last night. One of them, though, was just very much a what I did in the day dream.
Right.
So yesterday I played Peak and I did a recording with High Rollers. Mm-hmm. And it was just that. The dream was I was essentially playing Peak, and then when I got to certain points of the mountain, Mark would be like making me make a decision about what weapon I wanted to carry on with. So it's just this weird combination of Peak TTRPG. And it kept waking me up because I was obviously in that level of sleep where I was still like, and I'd wake up and be like, I want and the weapons were all really weird things. It was like a sponge on a stick and
Amazing.
stuff. And I'd just be like, I need the sponge. And then I'd wake up and be like, oh no, I'd go back to sleep. For some reason, having to make decisions in dreams wakes me up. I don't know if it's because I'm in...
It's the responsibility. You're like, nah, I'm not about that.
Yeah, I'm out of here. See you. Well, I was wondering if it's something to do with like engaging a different part of the brain or something like that takes me out of the dream. I don't know. It but I always have those sort of stress dreams where if I have to do something or make a decision or something, those are the ones that I'll often wake up. It's like the day before we recorded with Falklands, and I had a dream that Tim Downey kept on sending me on little quests, and I kept waking up being like, I'll go and get the thing. No, I won't. Okay, I'll just go back to sleep. Okay. It was another one of those style of things, just with lovely Mark Humes.
I had a similar thing where my dream was like Hollow Knight mixed with TTRPGs. It was just like a really small thing. Like, after I say this, we're going to be fresh out of dreams. So sorry, everyone. But basically, I was the night. And actually, it was also mixed with our Dawnlight, our Minecraft stream. So I think I was fighting Rythian in some sort of turn-based TTRPG combat. But
sort of argument, say.
No, it was a combat in a game. And Rythian wasn't Rythian. Rythian was in control of like a Hollow Knight monster. It was like a tall lady bug, but not a ladybug, just a bug that was a lady.
Yeah.
And I was controlling the knight, like the main character from Hollow Knight, and I could summon my yellow ladybug, Helio, and I could summon 2 little bugs, like tiny little green, like gnat type things. And that was like part of the things that I could do on my turn. So I was I was just actively chatting with Rythian while doing this. I don't remember anything about what we said, but it was like we were just playing a TTRPG and we were just doing a fight against each other. But we were also like playing as these tiny bugs, but in a big room, like a rat map, on like Gmod. It was like a huge room with us just tiny on a shelf. So I summoned my little bugs and my ladybirds, and I was moving them. I was using my actions to move them close to Rythia's little bad guy, so that they were flanking it, so that I would get bonuses to my attack. But then he had his little ladybug attack my ladybug, and which took him out, so he got unsummoned. And it was like, no, Rythian, how could you do that? I can't believe you. And I was like holding him like, no, because he was so small. I was like, I can't believe you've done this. But then I resummoned him, and to resummon him, like me as like a person of normal size in this big room, I like had him in my hands and I put him on a shelf on the other side of the room. Like, there you go. You can fly over when you feel better. And then I went back and carried on flanking the baddie with the 2 little green bugs. And that there wasn't really much else other than that, but it was just a chill combat dream. But then eventually my Helio did come back and help me, and we were fighting together and having a nice time. Aww. And it was nice. It was very cute and fun.
It made me curious whilst I was listening to that, because I've always thought like, when you just accept the name like Ladybird, then you never think about it. Then I'm like, that's a weird name for a bug. Now I think about it being like, it's neither of those things. I got curious.
It is.
And I looked it up. And why do you think it would be called a ladybird?
Why do I think it's called a ladybird?
What's your ladybird origin story?
God, I genuinely have no clue. Like, maybe it looks like, I don't know, like a lovely little brooch that a lady would wear. I don't know. I have no idea.
It's because it's named after the Virgin Mary, who was often depicted wearing a red cloak in early art. The common English name ladybird originated in Britain, where the insects became known as Our Lady's Birds.
Oh, that's cool.
And then it just shortened to ladybird. But I would not think, when I was trying to think, like, why would it be that? I was not, of course, it's the Virgin Mary.
You know what that looks like? Virgin Mary. Oh, how weird.
And you know what else happened? Is whilst I was reading this, it said they used the name ladybird beetles or lady beetles to avoid confusion with true bugs. And I was like, what do you mean true bugs? And then I clicked on that and it said Hemiptera from ancient Greek. And I was like, there's the speed run.
There it is.
I've done it. It says it's an order of insects commonly called true bugs.
True.
So this was before true blood.
What's in this order?
This is it says it's more than 80,000 species. So if you run out of dreams, I will list the 80,000 species of true bugs.
80,000 true bugs. So ladybirds aren't in the order of true bugs?
I guess are they not? Yeah, because if it's to avoid confusion, are they not?
Then what are they? If not a true bug?
Fake bug.
Oh, fake bug.
Because I guess are they? Because in America they're ladybugs, but are they not bugs?
I guess that's like a corruption of ladybird. Like if ladybird has our origin, and then it got taken over to America, but it was like, they're not birds. And it became bug because they be bug, but they're not true bugs.
A ladybug is a beetle. That's why.
A ladybird.
Oh,
is it a ladybird is a beetle?
Is a beetle,
Right.
not a bug.
And a beetle isn't a bug?
Apparently a beetle is not a bug.
What is a bug?
A bug is things like, I mean, would it be that if it doesn't have like, oh, I was going to say if it doesn't have like a hard shell, but it says that cicadas
But they all have
are bugs.
Yeah, a lot of them have hard shells.
Leaf hoppers, is that like a grasshopper?
Leaf hoppers. Oh.
But surely they all have,
I don't know.
it's a carapace. Is that how you say that?
Yeah. Or a carapace. Yeah, I think so.
Assassin bugs?
Oh.
Oh my goodness. And shield bugs. Well, shield bugs definitely have.
Shield bugs are what they call stink bugs in America, right?
Yes.
I think. Yeah.
The other
Are they
day,
stinky?
there was a conversation of Boba posting a picture of a bug and saying, "What do you call this?" in the UK. And Ozzy replied, "Cockchafer." And I thought, this is just Oz being funny and trying to wind Boba up that this is what we call this bug in the UK. And it turns out it's actually the name.
Yeah, I've heard of cockchafers. I can't remember what bugs they are, but I have heard of cockchafers. What are they?
They're just like, they're sort of like brown versions of stink bugs, like shield beetles. They just look like little guys. But yeah,
just little guys.
I just thought it was like, you know, when an American asks like, "Oh, what do you call an ice lolly?" And we're just like, "Oh, you know, like suckwombles or something." Just like, I'm just going to say the stupidest thing that comes to mind. So I was like, "Hey, cockchafer." But no, Oz was actually being very educational.
Yes, it's true. Oh,
are they also called May bugs? Are those the ones? Are cockchafers the ones that will just like fly into you at night in summer and you just suddenly hear them and they're terrifying?
Aren't those moths?
No, do you ever get like on warm nights when sometimes you just get hit in the face by something hard?
I thought that was just moths.
Well, I guess that would be if you've got a light. Whereas these attack in the dark, I think. Or maybe, I don't know.
Oh.
There's something that flies into you. What is the rarest bug in the UK? The streaked bombardier beetle.
Is the bombardier beetle the one that fires acid at you or something? The one that pops?
Oh my gosh, maybe.
Bombardier beetle. It might not be.
That sounds scary though. I always just worry that beetles are going to get in my hair. That's the thing that bothers me because they have such a loud buzzing noise, and the thought of them being in my hair buzzing near my ears. And
they do. They eject a hot, noxious chemical spray from their pygidial glands with a popping sound. The spray is produced from a reaction between two hypergolic chemical compounds, hydroquinone and hydrogen peroxide, which are stored in the pygidial glands in the beetle's abdomen.
Oh.
So it fires acid at you and goes pop.
Is it something that it's like
It's hot acid as well.
Oh. But how much? Like what quantity? How big are the beetles?
No, probably not much because it's a little bug. Heat from the reaction brings the mixture to near the boiling point of water and produces gas that drives the ejection. The damage caused can be fatal to attacking insects. Some bombardier beetles can direct the spray in a wide range of directions.
I saw this thing the other day where this lady, it was one of the, you know, the bee ladies that you get on the internet.
Bee ladies?
Yeah, the ones where they always stay really calm and they're just like, I was called to this house because a bee was in there and, I'm just gonna...
Went into a bee's nest without any protective clothing and just talked to the bees and convinced them to leave.
Just gonna put my trousers on now because they are starting to sting me, so I better just... It was one of those and she'd been stung on her hand and she was just filming it because the bee was unwinding their sting and they survived. Because if you stay calm... Obviously, it's difficult to do because your gut reaction is going to be like, "Ugh!" But
I'm being attacked by bees.
Yeah, but she just like stayed there, and the bee had obviously accidentally stung her, and they were just going spinning round.
And they apologised.
Yeah, they gave a little kiss where they'd stung. Just be like, "Sorry, don't know what came over me," and then off this little bee went. So if you can stay calm enough, You can save a bee.
Bees will
that's
respect
attacked
you. You just need to keep your cool, and the bees will be like, "Oh, damn."
Unless you're allergic, then you can probably panic quite soon.
That's when you need to keep your cool.
Oh yeah, true.
Especially.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a good point actually.
Oh no, I'm swelling.
Oh, would you look at that?
Oh dear.
I think I've only ever been stung by a bee once.
I think so too. Like I feel like I haven't been stung since I was a kid.
Yeah,
as well.
same.
Like it's just not something that happens as an adult. Weirdly, like for me, maybe it's because I don't go outside. But yeah, I'm bloody glad. I don't want to be stung by a bee.
I had just gone swimming and the bee was on my towel. I didn't see it. And then obviously it didn't appreciate suddenly being squished up against me whilst I was drying myself. And it stung me.
That's
and I was
classic,
like, oh,
really,
sorry.
isn't it? It's like, I remember my sister getting stung like multiple times because there was a bee on the bed sheets when she came to stay over. And she just kept finding stingers.
Oh no.
I was like, this is unfortunate.
Yeah. Oh, damn. It does say cockchafers are powerful but ponderous flyers. Used to a life in the dark, they fly at night and are attracted to light, frequently crashing into lit windows and careering into our homes.
That's not very smart.
So they are, I guess, similar to moths in that sense.
They're just silly little guys.
I always think of Alex saying, I've probably told this story before, but when he was living in China, he was in like a internet cafe, I think, at night, and he just heard what sounded like someone tapping on the window, and he turned around and it was just like a massive moth, like bigger than his hand sort of thing. Just like,
oh my God.
Hello, can I come in?
No. I'm afraid not.
So I'm like, it's bad enough having like a tiny little moth flapping at your face. Can you imagine just one the size of your face just being like, ah.
Oh my gosh.
I thought I would look up. I know why I had my dream, but if I, for some reason, had completely forgotten that I had played Peak, what would mountain mean in a dream?
Right.
Mountain. In dream sequences, the mountain usually appears in order to symbolize an obstacle which needs to be overcome. By daring to climb the mountain, we challenge our own inadequacies and free ourselves from fear. To reach the top is to achieve one's goal. To fall down the mountain indicates carelessness. Oh, well, there you go.
Oh no. Well, don't fall down the mountain.
Yeah. He says, the symbol of a mountain offers many alternatives and choices. This means we can work out through dreams our best course of action in everyday life. I mean,
okay.
Do I have any life mountains at the moment?
Do you have any choices to make? I guess like playing a TTRPG just inherently is full of choices.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like important life choices, but like just choices.
And I think
just choices to make.
Because
constantly.
like the recording we did, I mean, it was a one-off, but it was only like, it was the beginning of a big thing rather than being a one-shot. So I guess it was more like in one-shots, you usually have like more like a pre-made character that's more like everything you need to know. Whereas I guess at the beginning of a bigger thing, you're still figuring out who the character is. So I guess maybe when I went to bed, I was still thinking like, oh, would I have done this or should I have done that? Or like I find it takes me so long to get into what a character is when I'm doing something like that.
Yeah, no, I do too. I think that's part of the reason that I ended up having little TTRPG dream as well, because until we start our next campaign, every night I'm going to bed like, I still haven't written down the stuff I need to send to Rithian about this character. I still haven't written it down. Maybe I can think of more things while I'm laying in bed. So it's just in my brain, like, So it's a similar thing, I think. We're having similar flavored dreams.
Do you have a type that you like to play, or
yes,
tiefling found family?
Yeah, absolutely. Tiefling rogue found family. Yeah, I It's weird to say it because I haven't done it so much with the last two characters, but my Tiefling Rogue Found Family was more of like young, silly, a little bit oblivious, and I like playing characters like that.
Yeah.
I like playing characters that are a bit not pathetic, but flawed. I like them to be flawed. I like them to have a lot of internal like conflict and things that they need to overcome, and just like being maybe like a little bit reckless as a result of that as well.
Yeah.
And just having them, just to give them an opportunity to like grow up and become better people, or not better people, but more level-headed as the time goes on and stuff. I feel like my next character is going to be kind of a mix because we're going to be doing Kingmaker, and it's a very long campaign, potentially over the course in-game of like several years. So I'm having her be relatively young, like sort of 19-ish at the start. And she's going to be like a bit like that, like more, not oblivious, but more sort of not really very world weary and not very, I don't know, switched on. But maybe like she's just a bit like, I'm going on an adventure and I'm going to do this and this and this. Whereas she'll become like my other characters who are a bit more like traumatized. So it'll be like the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you know what you like to play?
I mean, I do like being given like pre-made characters and sort of having that challenge of playing something a bit different every time. I am quite... The only thing that scares me is trying to do like... more like intelligence characters, because I'm like,
me too.
I know how to play stabby and sneaky and angry and fighty, but I don't know how to play book smart because I ain't book smart. So I'm just like,
I think it comes to a point where it's like, okay, at this point my character would be doing this very intelligent thing. Don't ask me to do it though, because I can't.
Yeah. Well, it's like if ever I'm playing like a more of like a extrovert character, and someone says like, oh, I'd persuade them to do this. And it's like, okay, how do you persuade them? And I'm like, oh, I don't know how to persuade anyone. I can't even persuade you that I can persuade them. Like,
just imagine.
Because I struggled with that a bit in, I don't think it was Call of Cthulhu, but it was like a very Call of Cthulhu-esque mystery quest I did where everyone was like the best in their field. And I think I was like a linguist, and I was like, the best at languages and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I struggle with pronouncing things in English, the one language I speak. So trying to think of like how this super smart, I think everyone was from like, the version of Harvard or, the top university, and they were the best at what they do. And I was like, I don't know how to play. I know how to play like the worst at things, like, the scum and the criminals. I can play those things. I don't know how to play super smart, best Harvard graduate type character. But it's still fun. And I do like those sorts of systems. I quite like playing something like the Warhammer various systems because I'm like, I know my character's going to get messed up, so I can just make them awful. And then I don't mind that these things are happening. Not that I'm saying...
See, I'm the opposite because I make them likable characters. Well, I don't know if they're likable to everyone else, but I like them. But then awful things happen to them and I'm like, yay.
Oh, no. I just like starting with... I mean, I think my like favorite thing to play is characters that are very full of hubris with no justification for it. The people who think like, yes, I am the best fighter, and then you roll badly and you just fall over and you're just like, just being taken down a peg or 3. It's my favorite thing.
That's a very good one to play, because if you go in thinking my character is the best at everything, they are the best fighter, you're gonna roll badly anyway. So it's best to lean into it, I think.
Where's like the one I did last night, and it will have aired yesterday when this goes out, so it's okay to say it's not too spoilies. But I just kept on playing it in a way that I kept on talking to NPCs like I was very charming. And then every time Mark was like, I'm going to test your charm. And that was my lowest skill.
Oh.
Just because I knew that I was just like, I'm going to go in and I'm going to be like, hello, pretty lady sort of thing. And then Mark would just be like, yeah, they're not falling for it.
No. Oh, no.
But yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited to play again.
When are you starting?
Probably like mid-August.
Oh, okay. So you still got a little while.
Yeah, which is good because I need to finalize my character. But now we have a date, I can do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I was like, Rydian, we need to set a date because otherwise I just can't do it. My brain will not let me. I need a date so that I can procrastinate and then go crazy.
Yeah. I did have one other dream that I remember, but it's very short and disturbing.
Okay.
So this was this morning. I think I had woken up from my mountain climbing dream and fallen asleep again. I think I'd woken up like 3 more times and then fallen asleep again, because that's just how it is when it's humid. And I had a dream that felt like I was awake, that I heard my next door neighbor talking outside. I was downstairs. Well, I was sort of upstairs, but it was the downstairs window. It's just one of those weird dream things. And I heard him saying, they're all dead. The whole house, they're all dead. And I opened up the curtain, and my neighbor, because I was thinking, hang on, if he's dead, how's he talking? And I looked out, and it was literally like my neighbor, but he didn't have any legs. He was lying on outside my house, and it was like he was just a hoodie, and that had his torso and his head in, but he was like deflated, and there was no, like, his head was okay, but the body was just deflated. And I sort of opened up my curtain, looked at him, was just like, and then I woke up. That was it. So goodness knows what that means.
That sounds like another one of those heat dreams.
Yes. Because I don't know if I could like hear my neighbor talking outside or something, but
yeah, maybe that was it.
But he lives alone, so it wasn't like there was a house full of people that I knew of for something to be happening. I'm trying to think if I had any like disastrous thoughts before I was going to bed. Was there a reason that I was thinking about house fires when I went to bed? I have a feeling there was. I can't remember why.
Oh my God. Maybe like, I don't know, like, do you turn off like the plugs at night and stuff?
Yeah.
In case of a fire? Question mark?
I swear there was some sort of thought that I had that was connected to, I can't remember. Goodness knows what goes through my head when I'm falling asleep. Do you know what? I've been thinking about this actually. Right. So we are planning on doing that float tank that we talked about.
Yes.
And I suddenly thought, oh my gosh, I'm just going to be in a room with just my thoughts for an hour. And the thought of it has started to really scare me.
We're not even there yet.
I know. But
I can't wait.
I'm just like, this is essentially what I do every night, is I just lie there and I think. And then, but when I do it in my bed, I'm like, well, I can just get up and get a snack or read my book or something. But just lying there, just me and my head.
Oh my God. Well, now you've got this TTRPG campaign to think about. If it does lead on to bigger things, do what I do. When I'm laying there with my own thoughts, I think about my character. That's what I do. That's where I do the most thinking about my character. So,
yeah.
Bam. If you start thinking scary, alone thoughts, like, oh no, start thinking about your TTRPG character. It's good. It helps. That's how I fall asleep.
I think I am hoping that I can just fall asleep, because I think that would be nice to have like a floaty sleep.
Yeah, I really hope I get to sleep in there. I think it would be lovely. I'm excited because so I've got the closed in one. I'm like Homer Simpson in that one episode where the tank goes down like the hill and gets taken by a truck. And you're in like the open air one.
Yeah. I'm too scared of going in the closed one, the pod.
I'm like, lock me away with my thoughts. Don't let me out.
I just have realised, okay, so lovely Tom Hazel, he has this thing where he doesn't like it being too quiet for too long.
Right.
So if we're on Discord and there's like a lulling conversation, you just hear him be like, this is what we're doing.
He's just in silence.
He just has to break the silence. And I think it's made me realize how much I'm like that. Like when I'm relaxed around people such as yourself, I can just sit in silence and be fine with it. Mm-hmm. But there's very few people in the world that I can do that with. Other people, I just am constantly thinking, what should I say? What are they? Are they mad at me? What's happening? I should say, but what if they're thinking that what I said was weird? But maybe I should. Should I address it? Should I? It's just that constant. It's like yesterday when we were recording the TTRPG. So my character was like Empire, which in Warhammer is like Germanic. So I was just like, I had the hubris of being like, I'm going to do a German accent. Turns out I cannot do a German accent, and it went very wrong. And it like I'm probably going to get torn apart for it in the comments, but I made my choice and I stuck with it.
You got to stick with it.
And it just kept slipping into French. I would just start talking and I would just be like, I'd be like, wait, no.
Hang on a minute.
And, I said a word and I mispronounced it. And then I had that immediate thing of, should I say it again? Should I let them know that I know how to say it? And then for like the next 5 minutes, all I could think was, I know how to say this word, but they don't know that I know how to say this word. Should I just say it now randomly?
I completely understand here. Like, I empathize and sympathize, whatever, with you here, because do you remember I recorded a Blood on the Clock Tower game with lovely Holly from NRB. We did a ladies one for International Women's Day, and we did like all the intros at the start, and it was like, oh, who's your favorite detective? And it got to me and I was like, oh, mine is Hercule Poirot. And it was like, okay, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then it got to Terry, who did the most perfect French accent. Even though Poirot, he's not French, he's Belgian. But she did the most perfect French accent, like incredible. And I was like, oh, that's so embarrassing. And my brain just would not let me drop it. I was like, oh, I've humiliated myself by just saying his name with a bad accent. Oh, no. And, and your brain just keeps thinking about it. It's like, oh, why am I like this?
Yeah. And it will be that like ever if you say something and then you'll immediately clock it. And then the further it gets from it, you're like, well, it's too late now.
It's too late now. Like, hey guys, do you remember that thing I said 3 hours ago? I just want to clarify. And that's not what I meant.
I will assume as well, I don't know if this is like first person flaws or whatever that it's called, but when I will assume that everyone else is thinking about it as well. They're like, can you believe that accent that
I can't believe she said that in that awful accent.
When really everyone's thinking about themselves and what they said.
Yeah, no one cares.
But yeah, and it's one of those difficult things with like streaming is I get it a lot because obviously it's not a scripted thing. It's not a rehearsed thing. It's just what falls out of your mouth at the time. And sometimes stuff comes out wrong because we're human, and I am not very good at articulating. I cannot.
This is why
feelings into words.
This is why I can't do my own YouTube videos, because I've tried recording YouTube videos before, and I watch them back, and I'm like, that's not funny. Like, why would anyone watch this? It's awful. I don't want to watch that. I don't want to look at this. And then I just don't upload it. And it's like, if it's on Twitch, it's like, I have no choice. It's out there. It's done.
Yeah.
You know?
It is a difficult one. I mean, I guess it is just like for those of you listening who get the thing where if you said something in a conversation and then you go home and you lie awake and you think about it and worry about it and think, oh, I should have said this and blah, 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 blah. Imagine then in like 2 months' time getting to see hundreds of people comment on it and tell you what a stupid thing it was to say.
Because it's been uploaded to a YouTube channel. And people start commenting like, why did they do that? It's like, I don't know.
I don't know, and I'm me. Just came out. And yeah, it's like if ever you play like a game and do something bad and then you forget about it because it gets overridden by the next stupid thing you do, but then again it comes round to the YouTube video. You're just like, oh no, there's the affirmation that I did do badly.
I will say I did see a lovely comment. I think it was from Steven's Rocket. They commented on one of the Yogs YouTube videos and was like, actually, it was a classic, like, oh, classic Yogs cast bad at games. And Steven's Rocket was like, actually, Kirsty's quite good at games. I was like, oh. Oh, that's nice.
My favourite comment recently that I saw, I can't remember who it was from, but it was in a TTT. And Silas was just being mean to me. Obviously not actually mean, but he like rezzed me just to like
just to kill you.
Me sort of thing. And I saw this comment that was just like, I don't like when the frog is mean to the horse. It just sounded like such like a weird saying. Like, yes, when the frog is mean to the horse, c'est la vie. It's just like, yeah.
Amazing.
I don't like it either.
Oh, that's so good.
But no, I don't actually mind
dear.
it. It's just funny.
Exactly.
What would I look up in the book to see what the heck is wrong with me with my weird neighbor dream? I guess I could look up neighbor.
Did you say like he like deflated like a balloon? Maybe a balloon?
Well, it was like dummies that you practice CPR on and they're just a torso.
Right, yeah.
It was a bit like that, but one that had been compressed, I guess, by someone practicing CPR.
Okay.
It says neighbor, see people. See people. Okay.
See people.
People.
Atlantis.
Oh my gosh, there's a lot of people in this book. Oh my gosh, this is pages and pages. Right, I'm going to have to go through all of this. An individual from the past. Oh, a neighbor. Actually, neighbor was at the beginning.
Oh, nice.
A neighbor or close associate usually appears in a dream to highlight a particular quality in that person's life. That's all it says. That's so unspecific.
Okay. To highlight a specific quality.
What particular quality?
CPR dummies.
Yeah. Appears in a dream to highlight a particular quality in that person. I mean, I don't really know my neighbor. Like, I've lived here for 7 years. And all I know about him is he cannot whistle in tune.
Is this the one... There's one neighbor that likes books. I know that much.
Yeah, that's on the other side.
That's the other side,
yeah. There's literally all it says. Oh my gosh. I thought it would be something about like, I don't know, like just like an outside presence or something. Because I guess like if your home it represents yourself, then the neighbor would be like a nearby thing that doesn't directly affect you or something. I don't know. But I guess a particular quality in that person. But why was he deflated? What if I look up body?
It's like you say, he was probably just talking outside while you were asleep.
He does talk very loudly. So I probably would have heard.
I know what you mean when it comes to not knowing a lot of your neighbours, despite living there for a while.
Yeah.
I've lived here for like 6 years now, and I know one neighbour. There are 6 flats in my building, including mine, and yeah, I've the guy who lives across the way from me. There are things that I could just guess just from having seen him, but I've never spoken to the man.
I mean, I know my neighbour on the other side quite well. They stopped in and looked after the hamsters when we went away last time, and
that's nice.
He gave me a lift when I needed to go to the clinic because I couldn't stop throwing up. He let me in his car when I couldn't stop being sick, so that was really nice. And I kept on apologising in between vom, and he was just like, "It's what neighbours are for." Like, he's really just a very lovely Bristolian couple.
That's nice.
And I'm glad that they like us, because there was another neighbour the other side of them that they took a dislike to and were very obvious about it. So I'm like, thank goodness we got on the good side. But they are both very, very lovely.
That's good.
I looked up limbs, and it has a section on being dismembered, which I guess would be relevant.
Right. I suppose.
Well, for limbs, it says whether it is partly to do with some kind of cellular memory and the growth process that takes place is uncertain. But in dreams, any limb can be taken to mean sexuality and fears.
Oh, for God's sake.
Of course. And fears associated with gender issues. Huh?
Okay.
Because, of course, only women have legs and men have arms. That's just how it works.
That's true. That's how it works.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
I
really don't.
Okay. But then it says being dismembered can be taken in its literal sense. We are being torn apart. Sometimes this can suggest the need to restructure our lives and begin again. At other times, it can indicate that there is a way in which we are being threatened to the very core of our existence. Well,
hell. That's deep.
Well.
Well.
My goodness. But what does it mean if someone else has been dismembered?
If someone else is being dismembered, is it still sexual?
Stupid, sexy limbs. I mean, I was listening to Heroes by Stephen Fry at the moment, and it did mention the cousin of Dionysus who was torn apart limb from limb. So maybe it was that. Maybe that snuck in.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, potentially. There you go. You've made it about mythology.
Well, in Greek mythology, it's called sparagmos. When they engage in a Bacchic frenzy and tear them limb from limb, it's what happened to Orpheus. Because he went off of women, and the women took offense to that and tore him apart.
Oh. Oh dear.
Yes.
Well, that's not good.
No.
Oh dear, oh dear. I think that you just heard him talking in your sleep.
I was like, shut up, mate, or I'll tear your legs off.
Just, shut up, or I'll tear you limb from limb. I'm trying to have a nap. Trying to what makes me content.
It was just so weird, the fact that it was just like this voice. It wasn't even his voice. Just saying like, they've all died, everyone's dead or something. And I immediately knew that he was talking about like his family inside his house. And I was just like, oh my gosh, my neighbour's died. And then I opened the curtain and was just like, oh no, he's still alive. He's fine. Pull yourself together, mate. But yeah, so weird.
Yeah.
But that was my very wonderful, non-stressful dreams that I had this.
Yeah, I mean, they've not been particularly stressful, have they? Really, that's good. I think the heat just makes them short and sweet. You know.
Yeah.
Just it's like, here's a dream, have it, and I'm off. Goodbye.
It's just so frustrating that I know that I've had so many other dreams and not been able to remember them.
I'm the same. Yeah, I'm sure that I've got a bunch. Just a lot of small ones, like snippets that I just can't remember. They just do not stay in the brain because your sleep is just so fragmented when it's hot because you're just constantly like waking up like, oh,
yeah. And I think because I've been like so worried about keeping hydrated, and then I've just been like peeing all through the night, getting up at 4 a.m. for a wee. That, and I'm getting old. That's just life.
Oh my gosh.
It's like your dreams are candy floss and you're a raccoon, and when you try to remember them by washing them, it's like they fizzle away.
Oh, don't remind me.
Before your very eyes.
Oh, the poor boy. Yeah. That poor raccoon.
Because that is how it feels. It
just wanted some candy floss.
It feels like the more you try and hold on to it, the more they do just like scatter.
Yeah. When I woke up this morning with my Hollow Knight dream, I was like, just keep replaying it in your head. Do not forget it. We need it. We need it for today. Just don't drop it. But
hopefully, I mean, maybe I'll have a little float tank dream.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the float tank. I think it's going to be really nice. Do we need to take, I guess we just take like swimming costumes, right?
Well, you say that, but
yeah,
I think, I'm pretty sure, right?
We're going fully clothed.
I was going to say the opposite.
Oh.
When you look at the FAQ, it says, what do I wear? Typically, individuals don't wear anything when they float to maximize the sensory deprived experience and minimize any distractions. It advises nudie. However, you may wear a swimsuit if you prefer. If you're a little bitch. That's what it says in the FAQ.
I am a little bitch.
It says, if you do wear a swimsuit, make sure you give it a good rinse out afterwards due to the high salt content of the water. But yeah.
Okay.
It advises fully nude.
Oh my God. I didn't expect that. What are you gonna do?
You know me. Any excuse.
That's what I was going to say. It would be like just all of your dreams come true.
I don't know if I could. I know it's like an enclosed space, but I would still be worried about being nudie. It feels like it's in public because it's in a public place.
With my one, like, what happens? Like, is there an alarm clock and I have to open it myself, or does someone open it like wakey wakey?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think I'm going to have to be a little bitch and put on a swimsuit. I don't know if I can. I'd just be worried that someone's going to open the bloody lid.
Yeah.
Then I won't dream at all.
That, and, we'll be recording a vlog for it, and that's so much pixelation I have to do.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of editing in post. We can't. Oh, my God.
We won't actually record a vlog for it, for anyone thinking. I think we record a little episode before and after, but I don't want to have to be. It won't deprive my senses if I'm having to set up a camera. I'll be thinking.
That's it. I can't put my phone in the pod. It'll get wet.
I was hoping it would say, like, how do I know that my hour is up?
Yeah, that's it. Like, it must be a little alarm clock. It's like, do.
Yeah.
Get out now.
Is the shower time included in the hour? No, it is not. You have an hour float, and then around 30 minutes after the float to shower and wash your hair.
Oh, lovely. I guess if it's super salty, that's quite handy.
Because it does say what happens if I fall asleep during a float. And it says like, oh yeah, that's perfectly fine. So I'm like, but what if you're in there for hours?
It's like falling asleep on a train. Like, how do I know when to get off?
Yeah, it doesn't say.
I'm sure we'll find out.
But yeah, I can sort of understand why you wouldn't want to be, because I'm someone who gets very like, I have a lot of like sensory things. I hate the feeling of wearing jeans, because the feeling of jeans on my skin, I'm just like, no. And like if a strap is twisted or something, those sorts of things that they will have my focused attention more than I wish that they would, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But because I was thinking about this recently, like Alex, I specifically bought more clothes. I treated myself to some stuff this summer because I was like, I am not wearing jeans because I cannot face it anymore. And Alex has bought himself more jeans. And I was like, how do you do it? And he was just like, I just don't really care or think about it. I was like, oh, okay.
It's kind of like, I've since I've got my big baggy jeans that I just wear all the bloody time, I can't wear my skinny jeans anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I put them on, I'm just like, this is horrible.
Yeah.
They're just the worst.
And like, do you know what I did? Well, I would hope you don't know because this happened in my room. But I've become really fed up with my pants because for too long have I suffered uncomfortable pants. And now I've just decided no more. I don't want to. No more shall I suffer my pants. So I stacked all of my pants in a pile. And now I put them on in the morning. If I don't like them, if they're uncomfortable, straight in the bin. No more.
Fair.
If I'm like undecided, they get a day to convince me. If I still am not sure if I like them at the end of the day, in the bin. It. So
you're taking control.
Yes. Because the problem is I have like the hip dip thing. So if I don't wear high-waisted pants, they just get gobbled up by the dip. They're just in the cleft. And then if I make it so that they're high-waisted, then they're just like in the ass. They're just, hungry bum all day. So I need high-waisted, full booty coverage granny pants for comfort. And I'm just like, do you know what? I'm not ashamed anymore. I'm gonna get my big pants. So yeah, out with the pants, I say. And that's why I'll be floating naked. No, I probably will wear a swimming cozy or a bikini or something just to be comfy. Because I think if I do wear a cozy, I'll probably be thinking about scrunching. Because when like, I always feel like a swimming costume is slowly trying to turn you into a calzone. Like you're just folding. I think because I'm long, so I'm just constantly like, So yeah. Anyway,
understandable. Yeah, no, I will not be going in the nude. I think that will make me just not think about anything except the fact that I am in the nude.
So. Oh, we're so un-Scandinavian.
I know.
If we were going into the sauna, we wouldn't even think about it. Oh, dear.
Well, it is our first time, so I think we're allowed a little bit of leeway.
Yeah.
My goodness. I'm excited though. I think it'll be really cool.
Yeah. I mean, it does say in the FAQ, how often should I float to experience the benefits? And it says the frequency of flotation sessions varies from person to person. Some people benefit from weekly floats, while others find monthly sessions sufficient to maintain the positive effects. So we might have to subscribe. We might have to become full-time floaters.
Full-time floaters.
To really get the benefit of it.
I'm a full-time relaxer. I love a good float.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to going on the mobilizer as well.
Yeah. I love that it's just called the mobilizer. It's like it's some sort of entity.
Yeah.
But it's like a massage bed that just is automated, I think, right? Like there's no people as far as I'm aware, which is great.
Is salt good for your skin?
I don't know. I always feel like after I've swum in the sea, like blemishes and stuff feel a little bit clearer.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That has no scientific basis in my brain.
But I guess if you're floating, would only one half of you, just the back
You'd
half,
have to spin around. Get a snorkel.
It's like just getting half a spray tan, you need to get the full coverage.
We're going to come out and our back half is going to look like a prune. Oh my God.
Oh, it says you shouldn't do it if you've dyed your hair within the last 3 weeks as well.
That's the thing. I've been thinking about dyeing my hair, so that's good to know.
Yeah.
Because I went swimming the other day and I was like, I won't dye my hair because I'll leave like a trail or my hair will turn green.
And it also says don't use any fake tan or bronzing moisturizers, or if you've got a new tattoo or piercing. Imagine if you got a new tattoo and then you're in the float tank and then you looked over and your tattoo was just floating next to you. Just peeled off.
Gross.
I know that's not how tattoos work.
It just floated away. Oh no.
Oh. Anyway.
Oh no. Oh god. What a visual. What a visual to end on. Oh boy.
Well, Kirsty, thank you very much for a lovely chat.
Well, thank you very much, Bryony.
And thank you everyone for listening. And until next time, everyone, bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.